doesn't know me, my name is Jacqueline Burton, and I'm the head tennis coach for the girls tennis team at Burris. Tonight, we're just going to go through a PowerPoint presentation, go through our expectations for the season. I am recording this, so if you have to pop out or need to leave or get disconnected for any reason, I will post this PowerPoint presentation and also the recording of the presentation for you within an email. So you'll have those moving forward if you need them. As always, if you have any questions or need anything from me, you're welcome to reach out. My husband, Aaron Burton, is our assistant coach again this year. He is manning the comment section of our Zoom tonight. I am not very technologically challenged here, so I can't do all these things at one time. So if you have any questions in the meantime, you can feel free to talk. Anybody can speak out if you'd like, but if you want to put a question or comment into our chat, he'll help me monitor those and make sure we're getting all our questions answered for everybody. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we will get that moving, hopefully. All right. Okay, I believe everyone should be able to see my screen now. The first thing we're going to talk about tonight is just ways to contact me. My telephone number and email address are listed there for you. If you have any questions or problems at any time, you can always feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer those. We do also have a GroupMe group chat. If you are not involved in that, then I would suggest that you become involved in that if at all possible. That way you can receive the most up-to-date information. So most of our information that I'm going to send out is going to come out via email. I will send out a weekly email that'll just have information as far as what's happening for the upcoming week, how we did in our last week, any important information that you need. The GroupMe is more for in the moment information. If we have a rain delay, if we have any changes to our schedule, or if I'm missing someone waiting on the bus and I'm trying to locate them, that type of information will come out in that GroupMe. You don't have to take part in either one of those, but if you'd like to stay up to date on that information, that's how we're going to handle contacting us together as a group with parents. All right, our practice schedule. Our first practice is scheduled for March 11th. That is the Monday right after we get back from spring break. Unless it's otherwise noted, we are going to be practicing on the Lucina tennis courts, which are just directly across from Burris. I'm on the courts from 3 to 6 every single day. We will break down that practice into a couple different groupings. For the first week of practice, all high school students will practice together from 4 to 6. And this is just so that we can do some different activities, assessments, so I can break players into like skills, so I can get them into a pod that works well for them so that they can be playing against players who have like skills, and we can get some good match play established for all of our players. Once we've got through that first week of practice, we're going to break out into a couple different groups. Our varsity and our Tier 1 JV players are going to practice from 4 to 6 on the courts. And then our Tier 2 JV players and our 8th graders are going to practice from 3 to 4:15. I do have that 15-minute overlap for all of the players to be together. This is a nice way to get all of our players together on the court. So if I have any information that I need to pass out, I can do that all in one setting. We can get together, we can do our cheers together, we can feel unified as a team every day on our practice court, so that when we travel to our matches, home and away, that we feel more of a unified group. We have a large group of girls that are coming out. So I only have 4 courts to work with. So that is why we divide out into these different groups, so that everybody gets adequate time on the courts. They get their own individual time. We can get some real match play happening while we're on those practice courts. Our first match is scheduled for Tuesday, April the 2nd. That is a home match, and that will be at Cardinal Creek. All of our home matches will be held at Cardinal Creek. Again, our practices will be held at Lucina, so 2 different locations there. But players are responsible to get themselves to Cardinal Creek for those matches. Most of the time, our reporting will be at 5 o'clock for home matches. For our away matches, it'll be individualized, which I'll give you that information as we get closer as to what time the bus is leaving on any individual day. Yeah. Yeah, so for anyone with class obligations, that doesn't really play a part in how we assess the different pods. Those are purely based on skills. Our only other option is to cut individuals from the team, and I'm really against that for the most part. I like to have everybody involved in the group and participate as much as they can. If I have a academy student who ends up in the tier 2 grouping and they have class, they'll come on days that they can participate. As we'll get into our presentation a little bit farther, academics come first. We've got to be at those classes, and I want them at those classes. They'll still come when they can. We'll practice together, and then they'll still participate in match play when we travel to home and away matches. But as far as the assessment to break them into those different tiers, it's going to be purely based on skill on the tennis court and not individual class schedules. Any other questions right now? Great. We have a couple different ways that you can view our practice schedule and our match schedule. You can look at the event link, which is located on all of the Burris athletic websites and in Canvas, or you can use the Google Calendar that I monitor. I personally just like Google Calendars better, and so we have this Google Calendar. The link is there for you. You can integrate that into your own personal one. If any changes are made to our schedule, that is where I'm going to update that information. That's where you're probably going to get the most up-to-date and accurate information. The athletic director's office will update the event link, and they do that in a timely manner, but they'll be handling that on their end. Either one is an acceptable way to follow our schedule, and you're welcome to use either one of those. They should, at any given time, display the same information. So our current match schedule as of today, I believe all of our matches have been verified and locked in, so this should be the match schedule as it stands. If you looked at this earlier in the year, what we had posted online, we did have a couple changes. I just want you to note that our match with Alexandria was moved to Thursday. Monday, May 6th, because of the eclipse. We had to move some items around there. So I'm looking to see where that was. I apologize. That was our Elwood match, and that's in April. The eclipse is taking place in April. We had to move that head-to-head match to a Saturday. Usually we only have tournaments that are happening on Saturdays, but this year we do have one head-to-head match, which will take place on Saturday, April 13th. All of our head-to-head matches will be for our varsity and JV and for our tier 2 JV players as well. We have a large team, and we take all of our players to our matches, and it is my goal to get every single player on the court. That does not always happen. If we're playing a very small team, they will do playbacks for us, so we can try to get more of our players onto the court so that they're experiencing that match play. But if they have a very small team, sometimes that's not possible. I do try to rotate through our tier 2 JV players to make sure that they're not sitting out every single match if that occurs. And oftentimes we just don't know until we get to a match, until we see what we're dealing with as far as how many players our opponent has on any given night. A lot of teams have large teams like we do. So oftentimes we'll find that there's even been times where our girls have had to play playbacks because the other team has more players than we do. So again, my goal is to get everyone on the court. Again, sometimes that doesn't happen just depending on how many players our opponents have on any given time. So those head-to-head matches, again, are for the entire team. Anytime we have a tournament or an invitational listed or sectionals, that is for our varsity players only. So that does include our Delta tournament, our Yorktown Invitational, the PAC tournament, and then moving into sectionals. Those items will be for varsity only, and I will generally take one or two alternates with us to some of those events just for some additional playback opportunities if they're available at those matches. All right, moving into my player expectations. The kids all know these. We've gone over them together as a group multiple times. Athletics come first for me. I do want to make sure that everyone is doing their best in classes. I want them to make sure that that comes first. When it comes to extracurricular activities, I know everyone has a lot of different activities that they're participating in. I do expect players to be at every practice and every match. If we have other extracurricular activities that we're trying to decide between, we all have to make decisions in what we do with our free time. We all have a limited amount of free time. If we're going to play in matches, I expect you to be at the practices and participate with the team as a whole. Again, if you're dealing with something that is school related, that's a different story. Come to me, talk to me, and we'll do our best to make sure that we can work around school activities to make sure that we get you on the court. Just like those classes for practices, that's not going to be held against you in any way, shape, or form. Classes do come first, and I do want you to work through those activities. Parent expectations. You guys are welcome to communicate with me at any time. I'm always available. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. I do ask that you have your player be the one that contacts me if they are going to miss practice or a match or have problems or concerns about what's happening within the team. I really think this promotes just good communication skills that will value them in life. And so I want them to be the one to handle that communication with me. Obviously, if they're at home sick and they weren't at school and they're not on their devices, then please do email me so I don't worry about them and don't know where they are. But generally speaking, if they're going to miss a match because they have something else going on, just have them be the one that contacts me, talks to me at the end of practice. I'm happy to work through that with them. And I just ask that they be the ones to try to handle that communication with me for themselves. Parents are expected to transport your students to home matches, again, which are held at Cardinal Creek, which is just on the other side of campus, and to local away matches. So that's going to be our Central, Yorktown, and Delta are what's considered a local away match. This year we do play both Central and Yorktown away for us. So that's going to be on their home courts. So you as parents will be responsible to transport your athlete to those matches. For Academy students, they can use the Academy transport. That works really well. And Kennedy, one of our seniors on our team, our hoop master for this year, is going to coordinate that transportation effort for some of those activities so that we can make sure and get all of our Academy kids on the bus and or in the Academy van and to where they need to be. I do ask that you please try to have your students to practice and to matches on time and ready to go. So if we have a report time, I ask that you please have them there. It's so much easier if we can gather all the information can be handed out all at once. We can warm up together as a group. It just makes us seem so much more cohesive than having stragglers come in later and later. I know things do happen and things come up, but please make an effort to have your students there and ready to go at the start of practice and those local away matches that we have to transport to. What's next? Physicals. Every student needs to have a physical on file before they can practice in our first official practice for the season, which is the Monday after spring break. I have about 8 students who still have physicals outstanding. I did receive that list from the athletic director's office today. Those students have been individually notified so that they have that information. I'll check again and get a list, and then we'll be emailing parents as we move forward, just trying to make sure we get that on file so I can get all the students out and ready to participate together. So that will be coming. Also, if you are a parent of an Academy student, they do need to have a transfer on file. That's just a form letting them play sports for the Academy with us, just moving them from their old school to their new school to participate in those. So if this is the first athletic team that your Academy student will be playing on, they will need to fill out one of those transfer forms, and I have those available for them. And again, this information has been said multiple times to the students during our optional practices that we've had and sent out in group messages, but those are just things that will need to be on file before we can play in a match. So the physical has to be on file before the first practice. The transfer forms for Academy students have to be in file before the first match, so they can practice with the team without that transfer on record. All right. What else? All right. For my parents, I love it when you come to matches. I want you to be there. I want you to be engaged. Bring the whole family, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, friends, family, all come out and cheer us on. It's great at our home matches and at our away matches. We love to see you there. Please be respectful of our team and our opposing teams. One thing to note is that in tennis, only the 2 designated coaches at the start of a match may approach the fence. So you cannot go up to the fence and talk to your child during the middle of a match. Obviously, if we have an injury or we're taking them off of the court, that's going to be a special circumstance. But generally speaking, you're not allowed to go up and coach them from the fence setting. This includes anyone else. The only 2 people that are allowed to approach the fence are the 2 designated coaches during a match. You're welcome to cheer from the stands, good job, way to go, keep it up, anything like that. Welcome from from the bleachers at our home matches. That's great, but just make sure that you are not coaching the student and approaching the fence and speaking to them directly during a match. We can get in trouble for that. While we're on the topic of those away matches and not approaching the fence, it just dawned on me to remind you that a lot of our away matches don't have bleachers. So bringing your own chairs and sitting outside the fence is going to be the place where you're going to view those teams. At our home matches at Cardinal Creek, we do have the bleachers there available for viewing. We've got an excellent setup, thanks to Ball State, for our home match setup. All right, uniforms and fees. Our transportation fee this year is $75 and is required to be on the team. You can either write a check to the school or you can do it online. If you're going to do it online, it's really important that you use the middle school spring sport option. No, that's confusing and you're thinking, why are we using middle school? It's because the tennis team only has a $75 fee. Do not use the high school spring sport option. It's $125. So only pay the $75 that's due and use the middle school option. For tennis, because of the way that our uniforms are set up and the gear that we need and transportation, it's only required to be that $75. So again, if you're going to pay your transportation fee through the Burris website, you're going to go on and use the middle school spring option, or you're welcome to just write a check to the school. They'll accept that as well in the athletic director's office. The office will give me a list of those and we'll kind of go through and make sure that everybody has those paid before we get to our first match option. In addition to joining the team, once you've paid that fee, you will receive your shirt for the year. Every girl that's on the team will receive a long sleeve tech shirt that has our design for this year. And thanks to Miss Zoe Ogle, who designed this shirt for us. The girls all voted on the team slogan that they wanted to use this year. We had a tight race going between our winner, Hustle Hit and Never Quit, and a runner-up, Ice Ice Baby. Ace Baby, which came in a close second, but we did end up going with that Hustle Hit and Never Quit, which I think is a great motto for the girls for this year. We have had a different slogan every year for those parents that are new. It's kind of been a fun tradition just to have a different theme for each year. So this is the shirt for this year. They will receive one of these once they come in, and this is going to be pretty much what we use for our official uniform for this year. I'm going to explain that in a little bit more detail here. For our parents that are returning, we have some different options here. Last year on your screen, that number 1 was our uniform. We have several of these still available in stock in that new athletes can purchase. However, they're no longer in production, meaning I don't have every size. So I'm not going to require that everyone have this tank top because not everyone can get this. If your athlete would like a number 1 option, that black Razorback tank with the Burris logo on it, it is $33, and that's going to be ordered through me and through the school. You'll pay the school, but you'll get it through me because I have all the tank tops in my possession at this time. I'll let you know if I have the size available that you want. If anyone from last year wants another one to wear, they're welcome to purchase an additional one. But those are not going to be required for this year. In addition, the skirt that we used last year, that A6 court speed skirt in black, is also available. I have a few of those left, not very many. Those are $28. If you would like to purchase one of those, you're welcome to do so. But again, that's going to be done through me and then paying the school. Everything else is going to be available through our online team store, our BSN team store. And that's going to go live tomorrow. It has lots of different options for parents and fans and extra warm-up shirts and anything you could ever want. But in addition, our options 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are also available on there. So you can just purchase those directly through the team store, and I don't have to play any part in it, which is fantastic. The number 3 is our official warm-up jacket. And again, all of these items are 100% optional. You do not have to have any item in your possession except for the shirt that we're going to hand you. And then also any all black or all white skirt. So that is the only thing that you have to have are those items. But because we live in Indiana and we play a spring sport, we are going to play in freezing cold weather, and you're going to need sweatshirts and you're going to need jackets. And then we'll also have those 90-degree days where they're going to be down into their tank tops and skirts. So we see it all in the spring. We've seen the hail, we've seen rain, we've seen snow, we've seen 90-degree days. So you just never know what we're going to get. And sometimes we see it all in 1 week. So just what we get playing our spring sport. But that number 3 option does have the Burris logo on it. That can be purchased through the team store. Quite a few of the girls have those, but not everybody. Again, not required. And then online this year, there's several different options for those black Nike sweatpants. There's several different options. They're not all Nike, I guess I should say. There's a few other BSN options that you can choose for, and those range anywhere from $40 to $80 on the on our team store. So I don't have a preference on which one you choose. That's totally up to you. Number 5, 6, and 7 are what we're going to be moving into the future, into transitioning into future uniforms. So the Razorback Royal tank is available on the team store, and also those skirts. I don't have a price on those yet. It will be live on the team store. As soon as we get that information, it'll be live for you. But again, none of this is required. Those skirts are just options. If anybody wants to have matching skirts for our doubles teams, anything like that, they're welcome to get those. Just that's the ones that are available though. But again, any all black or all white skirt or shorts or pants that they want to wear. My main concern is that our athletes feel comfortable on the court. So whatever they want to wear within the parameters of this is great. But as far as their tank top options to play matches in are going to be your number 1 on the screen and number 5 on the screen. If they're more comfortable in that long sleeve tech shirt that they're provided, then they can just wear that. That's totally fine as well. We also have tennis bags that are available for purchase. Those are $30 each. Again, you're going to order those through us. Those aren't through the BSN site. They have our team logo on it. I would say the majority of the girls do have these, but if anybody is interested in getting those, it's new for the team, we do have those available, and they can get directly with me and we'll get those for them. We ordered those as a bulk purchase last year and then had them embroidered. That $30 is the bare minimum cost for us to get those here shipped and get that Burris logo embroidered on them. A lot of the girls like those and like to have them as just a group bag. But again, everything here is 100% optional. 8th grade parents. I do want to welcome our 8th graders. I love having the 8th graders on the court with us and being a part of the team. I think it's a great opportunity for those 8th graders to see how the team works, come to some of the home matches, help us keep scores, set balls out, and just know what to expect. They already feel like they're a part of the team when they walk in that next year, and I just think that this has been a great experience for those 8th graders. This will be the 4th year that we have 8th graders come out, and I'm looking forward to the ones that have already been coming to the optional practices to continue. They cannot play in our matches, but I highly recommend that they come to those matches and help us again with those keeping score, and it just gives them a real sense of what's happening within the team. So I'm looking forward to having those girls out and on the court. Snack sign up. I have a sign up form that is live that has gone out in emails. Once you go there, it'll give you a breakdown of all of our different matches and how you can get that food to me, whether you want to bring it to the bus or you want to bring it directly to the match. For our academy parents, it's helpful to know that if you are interested in providing snacks for the group, we'd love to have your help, and we can do that a couple different ways. We've had parents from the academy in the past call over to like sandwich shops like Jimmy John's and order the little mini subs and then just put it in my name and I'll go over and pick it up. We've also had parents order things from Amazon or from Walmart and then just have it shipped directly to my house. And then I'll use that on your assigned day that you selected within the Sign Up Genius. All of those options and how to go about doing that are all laid out pretty clearly within the Snack Sign Up sheet. We will take anything. If you want to bring cheese sticks and pretzels, that's great. If you want to bring a bag of bread and a container of lunch meat, they'll make their own sandwiches. They'll do whatever you do. They are happy to get what they get, and we're thankful for any contributions that you can provide to that. The last thing I have is to please just mark your calendars for our senior night, which is going to be on Tuesday, May 7th. Our on-court presentation will be at 5:30. And then our awards banquet will be on Saturday, May 18th at 5 o'clock. That is held here at our house. Oftentimes we do the awards and then the girls will stay and go swimming and just kind of have a fun end of the year, fun night together, playing pickleball or swimming and doing some fun activities there. So please mark your calendar for those events, as I hope that you'll join us for those fun nights. Okay, that was a lot of talking. Do I have any other questions that anyone would like to ask? Okay, well, that's great. Again, the PowerPoint presentation and the recording of this meeting will be sent out via email. So if there were links that you would like that you saw during the presentation, you'll have the PowerPoint presentation. And a lot of these are in that parent email. If you are not receiving emails from me, please let me know. I've sent out 3 emails. I've sent out our original welcome email and then a reminder about this meeting tonight. I guess maybe I've only sent out 2. That's 2 emails. Sent out 2 emails. If you haven't got those, please send me an email, which is on the first page of this PowerPoint presentation, and I'll get you set up. I know I have one parent that wasn't receiving them. But we want to make sure everyone stays as informed as possible. And I'm just looking forward to a great season. I really appreciate you sharing your girls with me. And they're a blast on the court, and we're looking forward to a fantastic year. If there aren't any other questions, I will let you all go enjoy the rest of your evening.